please stand or remain standing for the national anthem of Sweden.
Track today on the Roller Derby City track. Roller Derby City, Europe's largest supplier of roller derby kit and merchandise in Europe.
So here we go, it is Team Belgium and Team Sweden. Two teams again who have made an impression here this weekend. One of the things to look for, especially for Team Sweden, as this is the first time that you've watched them, look for number 64, Badger, if only for his beard. It is a thing of absolute beauty.
And actually, there were many people complaining about our blog post from Friday, 12 beards rocking the World Championship, and yes, Badger was definitely missing on that blog post.
Yeah, he should have been there, there's no two ways about it. So, taking the track first, in black for Team Belgium, 1030, it's Track Vader.
Vader, coach of the Brussels Derby Pixies, and exploit number 404 for Team Sweden.
So just for those of you that have not been watching all weekend, Sweden are in the blue, Belgium are in the black, and here we go. Underway, both teams struggling to get their jammer through. Some good, strong defensive work.
Sweet Jackie recycling Track Vader to the back.
In the meantime, Lead Jammer has gone to exploit. However, Track Vader does make it through now, despite the best efforts there of... I see who it was actually, I couldn't see them. It might have been Old Nerdy.
It was Old Nerdy. It was the golden shorts, it was Old Nerdy.
Oh yes. Badger's beard may be a thing of beauty, I'm not so sure about those shorts. Yeah, for Old Nerdy. Although he's got the nice leopard print leggings to go with it.
Actually, I've never seen him bout in a different outfit than that one before. Started last year at Battle of the Beasts. Was the same in Malmo, Kings of the North, and now he's wearing the same outfit here in Birmingham.
Okay.
Next up on the jammer line, we have number 76, Megawatt for Team Sweden.
And for Team Belgium, 3NT, it's Bulldog. Number 64 for Team Sweden, Badger, he is there with his beard. Megawatt blasting physically straight through.
And taking lead immediately for Team Sweden. While Bulldog is on his knees and recycled to the back by Badger.
So we have a penalty. There was a back block signalled. I'm waiting to see who's going to go to the box for it. At least I thought I saw a penalty signalled. I could be wrong.
Well, I've heard a whistle, and now a
track cut's also been signalled.
There is Swedish jammer going to the box. It's 75.
It's Helvis. He's not jamming.
Helvis, yeah.
He's not rocking the facial hair, but he has got an awesome ponytail.
Does.
It's halfway down his back. So number 1010 Niels on wheels for Belgium in the black with a star.
And Kick Asperton, 61 for Team Sweden.
9-4 at the minute. 2.5 minutes in.
Sweden one block ashort. Niels on wheels taking the outside and lead jammer status. Closely followed by Kick Asperton.
very closely followed. Nils and Mills looks over his shoulder and sees how fast Kick-Ass Scripson is closing down on him. Yeah, wisely calls that one off, realises that was a foot race that he wasn't going to win. Green Monster Roller Sports, all new. Visit us today at greenmonster.com. GRNMNSTR. Green Monster without the vowels. Greenmonster.com.
Next up on the Jammer line, we have Exploit number 404.
And also number 404 is Geronimus for Team Belgium.
Didn't realise that.
404, errors not found. Bit of jammer on jammer action there. Exploit forcing Geronimus to the outside, but he's back on quickly. Track Vader, who's jamming early and now blocking, doing a great job recycling Exploit to the back. In the meantime, lead jammer goes to Belgium, and that's Geronimus.
And their Exploit made his way out of the pack.
He's got through there, big hit. Geronimus forced to the outside.
And Geronimus calling the jam. 2 points.
Exploit went flying into Jeputra then.
1 point.
Ended up flat on his backside. Jeputra coming on top on that battle.
Yeah, right.
So we have Trick or Treat, number 88 for Belgium in the black.
And 76 megawatt for Sweden. Sweden still with 1 blocker in the box.
And Trick or Treat doing a little bit of defensive jamming there to start. But now trying to force his way through, and does, despite the best efforts of Radojit and I believe it was Helvis. Sorry, it wasn't Helvis, of course it wasn't, it was Old Nerdy. How can I forget those shorts?
The lead still to Belgium, and
4 points, hit it and quit it. We have a tied game.
next up on the jammer line for Sweden again, 61 Kick-Ass Scripson.
And he's up against 1010 Niels on Wheels. 5-second warning and all ready to get underway again. Still the 4-on-3 pack advantage for Team Belgium, and Niels on Wheels makes the most of that and goes round the outside to pick up lead jammer. He's followed closely. Exploit is out of the pack now and he is chasing down very, very quickly. So it's not Exploit, is it?
That is
Kick-Ass Scripson, my apologies.
Side, yeah. And apparently with that beard and the pivot panty, it's Badger trying to take the jammer line, but it's a bit too slow with the blockers. Now we have Exploit 404 again.
And this time it is Track Vader 1030. And the Belgian fans, I'm not sure if you can pick that up, but for Track Vader, they are actually, I was going to say humming, but screaming the Darth Vader theme from Star Wars there. Quite entertaining. And it obviously works.
Jammers exiting the pack, close up behind. Exploit some jammer on jammer action. Taking Track Vader outside, but he calls it off.
And he will now make his way to the quad skate shot penalty box. He's been called for an elbows. So he will sit down, and that will be a power jam start for number 88, Trick or Treat. So 4-on-3 pack advantage and the jammer advantage, and the current score advantage at 14-10 for the Belgians, who are currently wearing black.
Fourth blocker for Team Sweden entering the track again.
That's Helvis. Out of play called, so no pack called, so the Belgian blockers have to sprint forward. 5 points. No, 4 points, but I can't see if it's 4 or 5.
5 points. She's blinking. He's blinking in her hand. And again in the pack. 3 wall in front in the defense, and there goes the bridge, but a bit too late.
Out of play called, which meant they have to let him go. And he calls off the trick-or-treat, calls off the jam. I think it will be a power start. And this time it is Niels on wheels.
Kegaskrutzen is still in the penalty box. It should be enough time for Belgium to get that lead status.
Yeah, he's still sat down, so it means he's got at least 10 seconds left, and there he stands. So
it was exploit and not Kegaskrutzen, but still should be enough time. And there comes the out of play call and a multiple player block for Olmudi. Exploit now in the pack, fighting his way to the front, making his initial pass, and there goes Niels on wheels and calls the jam before Exploit can reach the pack again.
So that's 4-point hit and quit it. Belgium taking the lead jam, helped by the power jam, of course. For a few jams running and sort of racked up a few points unanswered. But with 21.5 minutes left to go in the first half, there's a long, long way to go yet. And we have 404 Geronimus for Team Belgium.
And 61 Kegaskrutzen, supported by Badger, Mick Jaeger, and Yada Yada as blockers. Taken to the infield.
Some strong work there by Track Vader, working again as a blocker. And we've got both jammers out very quickly.
And I guess Geronimus will call in a moment.
So
before taking a hit from Kegaskrutzen. And
yeah, just to let you know, please send in your tweets using the hashtag MRDWC and make sure it's the hashtag MRDWC, not the @MRDWC. As some poor bloke on the other side of the world who knows nothing about roller derby, his feed's gone mental this weekend. So please make sure hashtag MRDWC, and we'll try and read a few of those out for you. Meantime, Trick or Treat with the star, but that's not helped as Megawatt is through for Team Sweden. Here's your lead jammer.
And Trick or Threat following right behind. Again, we get to see some jammer on jammer action. And Megawatt into the wall, taking 1 point.
2 points. The Devil Horns are being signalled there.
What is it about those Hornets to indicate 2 points?
I suppose if you use your index and middle finger, depending where you are on the crowd, certainly to a British audience, it could seem rude. The 2 points is a bit of separation, makes it easier for the score trackers to see. And the score tracker is part of our fantastic NSO crew that we've had here this weekend.
And again, we have Exploit for Team Sweden.
And he's up against, for the first time today, number 62, Murdoch,
who is taking the lead.
Okay, there's a couple of whistles gone. I'm trying to see. It's Badger.
Joking with one of the Belgian blockers on the way to the box, which is 101 Wimplash.
3 points picked up that time for Exploit and 2 for Murdoch. Didn't quite call it off in time. Track Vader, 103. He seems to be doing jam one, off one, block one, off one, jam one, off one. So he's got a lot of track time, mixing it up between pack work and jamming.
Kegaskrutzen, again, 61 for Team Sweden.
And Kegaskrutzen, he gets through. He picks up lead jammer for Sweden. Track Vader having a tough time getting through the pack at the back.
And Kegaskrutzen pushed to the infield. There was a penalty call.
He's been called for blocking out of bounds.
Yeah.
He's not quite sure about it, but he's making his way to the penalty box. And look at blocking out of play there for number 1, Radujet. Sorry, Rajuret, I think that's meant to be.
Rajuret.
I'll leave that one to you in future, Valkyria.
Huh?
I'll leave that one to you. I'll let you say that name at any point if we need to. Do it far better than I do.
Okay, so we have 2 blockers left on the track. Mr. Nice Guy, 333, and Yada Yada. Mr. Nice Guy trying to hold him back as long as possible, and now Badger coming back to track.
There was an out of play called, so it's no pass, no penalty. I say this jam will go the full 2 minutes. Sweden did have lead jam. I believe it was Kickass Knudsen before he was sent to the box.
Yep.
In the meantime, Track Vader now just trying to rack up the points for Belgium. So that's a 5 in the sky that time.
Kickass Knudsen is standing in the penalty box and coming back on track, and the Belgian wall is already reforming.
Okay, it looked like there was, there's all sorts of chaos going on turn 2.
Whole puddle of blockers on the floor, Kickass Knudsen on the ground.
Blockers, jammers, referees, everybody. Low block signalled on Track Vader.
On Track Vader, right, on the way to the box, and Raad Jurer is also out of the box again, as far as I can see it.
And we have a timeout is signalled here by Team Sweden. So it's just to let you know that the Men's Roller Derby Association would like to wish all the teams competing in the Men's Roller Derby World Cup the best of luck this weekend. The MRDA is the international governing body for men's flat track roller derby and wants you to join them in the growing world of men's roller derby. For more information about joining and the benefits of being part of the MRDA, visit them at the mensrollerderbyassociation.com or send inquiries to info@mensrollerderbyassociation.com.
And as the Men's Roller Derby Association was organizing this event, trying to provide you with this feed that we have, we would be really glad if you enjoy listening. Drop us a few dollars, a few bucks using the link on the broadcast page. The split will be 50-50 between the MRDWC and the team's travel funds.
Now, we've had some teams, of course, Australia, Japan, Argentina, especially USA and Canada as well, that have had to travel a very, very long way. For example, Argentina came here with 8 skaters. They did originally have a roster of 18, but unfortunately it was just a case of money. They just could not afford the trip. So they came here with 8 and have done fantastically well and won so many fans while they've been here.
They were definitely the winner they were definitely the crowd winner this weekend.
I think Min Japan might have a word on that.
Right, but especially the game this morning was pretty intense with all the emotions.
The Argentina-Australia game.
The Argentina-Australia game with all the emotions going on here on this track. And the official timeout is over.
So I've just been passed a note. Teams have all chipped in and they've raised £1,082 for Argentina because last night one of the skaters, El Castillo, my apologies, sold his shirt basically so the team could get some food.
Some food, some drinks, and now the teams have chipped in and gained over £1,000 into Argentina's travel funds.
Which is a fantastic effort. In the meantime, on this power jam, we have number 76 Megawatt and just added on 5 points to Sweden's score. So the Belgium jammer, I believe it was Track Vader, it was a while ago now, but he sat in a box for a low block major. That was part of the bodies that went left, right and centre on turn 2 in the last jam, you may remember.
And Megawatt is signaling to call the jam. So the Belgians are a bit faster with this lineup.
So our exploit will start this time on a power jam.
Three blockers for the Swedish.
So here we go, no pack called. And that sees lead jammer picked up by Exploit. Track Vader now returns to the track. And he manages to get through very quickly and clear his initial pass.
And Exploit tries to call off the jam, but is being sent off for a back block.
So that puts Track Vader once more on the power jam, not as lead jammer, so this is another jam that will go the full 2 minutes. Some great offense there by Wimplash.
And Megawatt gets called for an out-of-play block. Now that was McYeager.
And it's actually quite interesting there as the Belgian bench was signalling for Track Vader to do a star pass just as the pivot, Wimplash, was sent to the quad skate shot penalty bin. So all good plans and all that. But Track Vader seems to be doing all right on his own at the minute.
At the moment.
Get some offensive help there from, I believe that was Murdoch, helping him through to get past Old Nerdy. He's racking up the points so far on this jam. 15 so far, I believe.
And now with Badger and
it's Helvis.
Elvis.
And Old Nerdy are the current blockers on track for Team Sweden.
Exploit on his way back. And Badger already trying to open up the wall, which apparently worked pretty well. Exploit scoring 4 points.
And 5 picked up there by Niels and Wills as Murdoch clears the path that time. So just under 13 minutes to go. Sweden in the blue 32. Belgium in the black on 79. The bouts, we believe, all the bouts from the weekend will be put up online for people to watch. We're not entirely sure when, but if you keep an eye, I would suggest on the MRDWC website, that's mrdwc.com, that will probably have all the information for you coming up within the next few days, hopefully. So in the meantime, we have, I believe that's Niels on Wheels. He has the star for Team Belgium, and it's Kikas Crutzen who has the star and lead jammer, but they're both out right together.
Crutzen calling the jam, but taking 1 point to the scoreboard.
And there was quite a collision at the end there between Old Nerdy and Niels and Wills, but there was also a hug straight afterwards.
And I see the Belgian bench personnel in the middle of the track in this lineup break.
Questioning the call of jam referee Watze, but is it going to be changed to an official review? It looks like it is an official review for Team Belgium.
Yeah.
So while we're waiting for an update on that, I should remind you that Fast Girl Skates, their knowledgeable staff represent all facets of roller derby, WFTDA, USARS, MRDA, JRDA and Banked. They can relate and have what you need. They have the largest selection on skates and gear for everyone, women, men, juniors, because it's about you.
Well, it looks like Team Belgium thinks that for the last pass there were 2 points scored by their jammer, Niels and Wheels, and Trick of Threat number 88 just showed his lovely underwear to the audience. And now we are waiting for the official's decision if the 2 points are being issued or not.
In the meantime, let's see who, if you can see that on the crowd.
That was Brian Warfare from
Inhuman League, my hometown
Inhuman
league.
League with the bandana right in the middle. With
That's
his
it.
father, I think it was next to him, who's apparently accompanying to most of his games. He
Yes.
even came up to Sweden with him with the for the
For
Kings of the North tournament.
yeah.
Filming, taking pictures. It was amazing.
Yeah, Brio went with the Inhuman League Zombie crew.
Yeah.
They went up to that tournament and
they did an amazing job up there. It was.
And had a fantastic time. I mean, unfortunately, I couldn't make it. But speaking to the guys when they came back and the bench staff as well, saying how much they absolutely loved it and had a great time.
They did an awesome tournament, and I was pretty sad that they actually had to leave so early. And
yeah, couldn't play. And they'd qualified for the final bout, but because they had to catch trains and planes and what have you, they had to leave early.
Yep. And everybody was so looking forward to see them play against the Tampere Roding Bros again, which are about half of them are here and playing for Team Finland.
Okay, we'll have an update from the official review for you in a moment. At the meantime, Trick or Treat is on the jam line for Team Belgium.
76, which is a megawatt.
So the official review is Belgium challenging the points scored on that last pass. They thought they should have had 2 points. 0 points were signalled, and after the official review, 0 points are being what they're getting on that one.
In the meantime, we have Megawatt as lead jammer, Niels Trick or Treat following close behind. And the pack is speeding up. And Megawatt making his way, calling it off.
There's a little bit of discussions going on here. 3 points, I think, for Belgium.
Yep.
I believe, the track cut is called. Some of the Belgian players were questioning, was there going to be a track cut on Megawatt? A couple of referees, inside pack referee Schreff, I think, was in discussions there with the gem referee. And a decision has been made. 2 points before the track cut, but it is a track cut. Yep. So, Geronimus, 404, power start. And here we go.
And then we have Sweet Jackie in the blocker line.
That's some good work. I believe that was Old Nerdy. So Old Nerdy's there. It looks like, I can't see who it is. It's Enjoy Boy, I think, is out there. And also trying to do the best is Block Watson. And what have we got here? We have a misconduct penalty, I think that was signalled by inside pack referee Schreff. I thought it was on the jammer, but it wasn't. It was on Fantoom, number 24, Geronimus. After about 40 seconds, it does pick up lead jammer. Fantoom on his way into the penalty box. Didn't stop in time and has got to go and do another lap round the outside.
And we have a penalty being called on All Nerdy.
It was a direction of play, I believe.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Megawatt is now out of the box. He's on his initial pass at speed. That was clean contact. He managed to go into the side, into the ribs, rather than into the back. You see, every time you see a player, a skater knocked down forwards like that, it's not always a back block. It can, if you instigate the contact on their shoulder or in the ribs, that's fine. That's perfectly legal.
That is correct, as long as the refs can see it, that it was actually not onto the back, but onto the side.
So, taking the jammer line this time for Belgium, one of my favourite names of the tournament, it's BAB Reckless.
And Exploit, number 404.
And BAB Reckless, he's round the outside for lead jammer for Belgium once again.
And now Exploit is through the pack as well, following behind. The pack is reorganizing. Apparently the Swedish are trying to go to one. And BAB Reckless took a huge jump before calling the jam.
Picks up 3 points though. So currently 89 to the Belgians wearing black and 35 to the Swedes in blue.
Kikas Kurten up on the jammer line again. 3 blockers with him, 2 in the box.
A violent attack from Birmingham Blitzdame, sat in the middle of the crowd there. So Birmingham Blitzdame, this is their home venue. As it is for the Crash Test Brummies that have quite a few skaters actually in this tournament. Kick-ass Christian recycled all the way back, allowing lead jammer for Niels on Wheels. huge hit from Trick or Treat there on Enjoy Boy. I don't think he enjoyed that one. 2 points each on that last jam.
And 1 point, 2 points again for Sweden as well.
So Murdoch takes the star for Belgium.
Megawatt, Sweden. 3 of his blockers with him. And Old Nerdy already standing up in the penalty box.
So, here we go. Old Nerdy returning to the track, making it 5-on-5. Geronimus recycling Megawatt all the way to the back of the pack. But a burst of speed. Just staying inside. Megawatt is through. He's not lead jammer. That goes to Murdoch.
But right at his heels. And both are entering the pack. Megawatt making his way before Murdoch can call it off. So that
A little bit of a discussion. Megawatt looking a little concerned as he looks towards the middle.
All Nerdy is indicating 4 points. And we have an official timeout.
So this is the referees that are going to be discussing this.
All Nerdy is still very sure of what happened on track. Still indicating 4 points.
So in the meantime, while we're waiting this, why don't you tweet us at #MRDWC. Let us know, especially if you're watching in Belgium, if you're watching in Sweden. So please, on the tweet, say where you are so we know. Maybe you're Belgian, maybe you're Swedish, but you're somewhere else in the world. Maybe you're watching from Japan or China or Australia. Please let us know, and we'll try and get some shout-outs done for you.
And if you're an Instagram user, then look us up on Instagram under MRDWC. Share your photos of yourself enjoying the cup wherever you are, and they might make it onto the stream.
See how Nerdy still stood there holding up the 4 points. Refs aren't looking at him, but he's trying it.
Might help. And this time is brought to you by the GBEMS, the only UKRD indoors Madigan team. The guys in green over here on the track, on this track, on the other track, have been doing awesome work for the whole weekend, taking care of the skaters.
So one of the great things with the GBEMS team is, obviously they were brought in to be the medical cover at Roller Derby, but they've actually got into it and they've taken on skate names. So the two guys sat in front of me are Gummy Bear and Pastor Red Bull.
Pastor Red Bull has been seated in front of me for a couple of bouts during this weekend. And actually some of them are skaters or referees for them, well, referees mostly as I've heard, but they're actually involved in roller derby as well. Some of them. And we have lead jammer for Exploit.
Old Nerdy once again is on his way to the penalty box.
And Sweet Jackie just took out the Belgian jammer, but is sent off the track.
Low block was called there on Sweet Jackie. Bulldog gets through the pack now, completed his initial pass.
And Exploit, 4 points, taking 4 points. Let's see if he's calling it off. Yep. Just before Murdoch can reach the pack again.
So we're at 5.5 minutes, 93 plays 41 in favour of Team Belgium, who are wearing the black. Up now for them is number 88, Trick or Treat. He has the star. Well, there's a familiar face on the string. I recognise that lady.
And it's Kikos Krutzen again. The official timeout actually was called to consider a back block call on the black jammer, which one in the last jam?
I think it was in the jam before that one.
In the jam before, but there was no call made.
Murdoch, the Belgian pivot, is now sat in the penalty box. I'm not sure what the call was, but that's why Kikos Krutzen didn't pick up the track cup.
And Murdoch is taking 4 points and calling it off.
I do like when Trick or Treat calls off a jam because he's very, very animated and very, very fast and almost aggressive with it. It is quite cool.
And next up, 76 megawatt for Team Sweden.
And he's up against 1010. That is Niels on wheels. He has the start for the Belgians.
And some jammer and jammer action on the jammer line. And now Megawatt is making his way past the blockers. Getting lead jammer. Niels on wheels right behind. The Belgian wall in front. Megawatt jumping past his blockers.
Ooh, horrible collisions there. There were collisions left, right and centre. I'm not sure what's gone on here.
Megawatt is sent off for a backbug.
And the game does carry on. I think it was a lot of separate whistles that made it seem like the full whistle blast at the end of the jam.
We have a shout out from Ad Mushy, watching the action and loving it. Actually, hosting a taster tonight. Hosting a taster tonight to set up my own league in sunny North Wales, which is coming in via Twitter. Good luck, McMushy, for your new league.
That's absolutely brilliant. I mean, that's one of the things we're seeing new leagues coming up left, right and centre. One thing is, McMushy, is that men's league, women's league, co-ed league, junior league? Let us know. Hopefully we think it's a men's league. It'd be great to get another men's league. There is one in Wales already with the South Wales Scineers. But hopefully, to get another one there, the more men's leagues we get going and the more women's leagues, the better. The better it is for Derby. And when you see events like this, why would you not want to be involved?
There was a direction of gameplay issued for Swedish blocker number 1, Rod Juret. Just to let you know, all the jug and all other trophies will be presented at the closing ceremony tonight.
So we do have 4 trophies: the jug, the bowl, the plate, and most importantly, the cup. And a track cut on old Nerdy. He will make his way to the box. And that is the end of that jam.
Next up jamming, we have 404 Exploit again for Team Sweden.
And he's up against 1101. It's BAB Reckless.
Just giving you a short update from the quad skate shop track. We have 43 points for Finland on 8 points for Team Ireland.
So here we go. We have 1.5 minutes left. Said in stereo there. And in the meantime, BAB Reckless, he has lead jammer, however, Exploit right on his tail. Oh, Badger went flying in at the end of that jam, trying to make the hit. Didn't quite make it. Probably a good thing though, because the jam had been called off. No points for Sweden, and let's see, are there any points signalled? Yes, 3 for Belgium.
And again, Kickers Kritten and Trick or Threat on the jammer line in what will possibly be the last jam of this first period.
My sincere apologies. I've been calling him Trick or Treat all weekend.
Yeah.
Oops. Oh, I'll buy that man a beer at the after party. My apologies
Okay,
to everybody.
now you get a chance to call him his
Okay,
name
so the
correctly.
lead jammer is Trick or Threat. Oh, wow. To be honest, of all the names to get wrong, that's probably one of the better ones to get wrong. I'm thinking of one of the Canadian skaters. He's called Flustercluck.
Yeah.
That's not the one to get wrong.
That is hard to pronounce correctly, otherwise you will...
I must admit,
be
the one bout
bleeped off.
that I did for Canada, I myself and a little joker who I was announcing with, we referred to him as Clucky through most of the bout, just to prevent that faux pas. We were going to be the ones to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is half-time. The half-time scores 119 versus 46 for Sweden. So, I mean, that first half, what we have seen, it's been a little scrappy at places. It's been a little penalty heavy. It's been more, sort of Belgium have kept their skaters on the track more, and we think that's what's made the difference. So I mean, old Nerdy is one of like he's just he's picked up quite a few penalties. He'll need to sort of be careful in the second half. So just a reminder, this is competing for the jug, and so on the other track we do have Ireland, Finland at the moment. Just to remind you, we have had some changing to the original times. We have now the final will now be at 5 p.m. UK time rather than 7 p.m. that it was originally gone for. We'll leave you in peace, and we'll see you back here in about 10-12 minutes.
Power Jam!
Okay, welcome back for the second half of the bout between Team Belgium in the black and Team Sweden in the blue. This is for the jug. Apparently we've had in the first half just under 1,500 views, live viewers. That's probably a lot more people than that. Thank you very much for watching us. On the international feed as well, we've also got 41 views on that, which is absolutely brilliant.
The international feed at the moment is being told in Dutch by Nasty Moves from the Amsterdam Derby Games. So apparently more for the Belgian part of our viewers.
I would have thought so, yeah. And any of the viewers still from the Netherlands that are watching and wanting to listen to about in their home language.
In our home language now, after that the Dutch team got out of the tournament yesterday in their game against Finland, if I'm correct.
I believe so, yeah. It wasn't one. Yes, it was. It was Finland that beat them. So currently on the other track, we do have Finland versus Ireland, I believe.
Yes, Finland versus Ireland.
That's on the quad skate shop track. But just about to get underway, we have number 62, Murdoch in the black for Team Belgium.
And exploit number 44 from the Salty Seamen of Gothenburg.
So both jammers having a tough time getting their way through. Murdoch first to recycle back by number 1, which I'll leave you to the pronunciation.
Rod Juret.
Thank you.
And being taken down again by McJager, and now he is past Rod Juret and McJager.
He has the lead jammer for Team Belgium. Exploit just around, making it around the outside now. This has actually been sort of quite a lot of the story of the first half, if you haven't been with us. Belgium getting the lead jammer, picking up a few points. Calling it off. Both jammers are now being recycled.
And speaking of calling it off, there goes Murdoch, close to jam.
2 points to 0 in that one in favour of Belgium.
Yada Yada on the jammer line for Team Sweden.
It's the first time we've seen him on the jammer line today, I believe.
On the jammer line, that's correct, yeah.
And he's up against Niels on Wheels. There's some noisy Belgian fans in the crowd. Yada Yada gets round. Does he get? No, he doesn't. He was taken out. There's all sorts going on here. I'm not quite sure what's going on. We're going to have a power jam for Team Sweden.
On Niels on Wheels.
So Yada Yada, first time he's had the star on today.
And taking the lead for Team Sweden in this jam. And just got a score update from the quad skate shop track. We have 101 points for Team Finland and 37 points for Team Ireland.
So Yada Yada now on his first scoring pass. He picks up a 5-point grand slam.
And Sweden lining up to go into offense to help Yada Yada.
So it's led to a trip to the penalty box for their pivot, I believe. That is it Megawatt?
Megawatt, yeah.
It is indeed, yeah.
So Yada Yada, second scoring pass, another 5 points.
Being told by his bench to carry on to do another lap. Try and get another few points.
And there the Swedish blockers go into the Belgian wall.
There's bodies all over the place. It's 3 Belgians. I think they all took each other out.
And Jerominus on a jump behind Megawatt. And Badger trying to hold Niels on wheels, who just came back on track.
That was only his initial pass, so there were no points picked up. So 15 points picked up by Yada Yada on that jam. Trick or threat on the jam line this time for Belgium.
Whiplash still on the track, discussing with the referees. And there's the next lineup. Kicker Skritzen and Trick or threat. Both gems bouncing around left, right and centre. Kikas Kritzen is taken all the way back by Jeb Putre. Triple threat on the way to his first scoring pass. Great footwork there on turn one by Kikas Kritzen, just to keep his feet in and avoid picking up the track cut penalty. Triple threat, very happy with that. So 4-point hit it and quit it. 4-on-2 pack advantage for Belgium, which is why he pulled it off as quickly as he did. The Belgian fans again making some noise for their team here. While the rest of the crowd doesn't seem too much. So here we go, Murdoch gets through, he does get lead Gemma for Team Belgium. And Axploit right following behind. Some action in the pack going on here. So it's fast pack at the moment. Megawatt and Rocky Ball Bearing sort of getting into it. And Murdoch on the inside, and he's taking out the referee before calling the jump. 2 points signalled for Murdoch. They're just checking, waiting to see what the score is for Sweden and for, I believe it was Exploit jamming in that last one. Yep, and next up, Yada Yada, second time as a jammer in this bout. And an official timeout is being called. So while we've got this official timeout, the penalty box today is sponsored by Quad Skate Shop, Europe's original brick-and-mortar roller derby equipment supplier. Quad Roller Skate Shop has the best selection and most stock of any store on the continent, with excellent consultation services that only a fellow skater could provide. We've got all your needs covered because we love this game. So here we go, it's Niels on wheels, 1-0-1-0. Yada Yada going to the inside, but the Swedish blockers saw him right in time, trying to take him to the outside. Yada still pushing at the inside. Niels on wheels on the outside, taken to the back by Sweet Jackie. Sweet Jackie of the Malmo Royals, a co-ed league. In the meantime, Yada Yada has got lead jammer. Been a low block assessed on one of the Swedish blockers, I believe it was. Yep, that is Mick Jaeger, number 13, going to the penalty box. Yada Yada now on his scoring pass. Niels on wheels is still struggling to get through. On his initial pass, I believe. Yeah, it is his initial pass. Yeah, and there is Sweet Jackie and 221 block Watson. And the jam is whistled dead. So yeah, with the number 221B, we should work out that that's always going to be block Watson. Won't change for the rest of the bout, I guess. Well, I will apologise if at some point the 221B, I call him Dr. Bloxon. A skater who's a very good friend of mine skates as Dr. Bloxon with 221B. So that's my excuse for that one, and I'm sticking to it. We have All Yes, Nerdy. Morgan, you know who you are. We have All Nerdy in as a blocker for Team Sweden now. Kicker Skritzen on the jammer line. All Nerdy by now on his 5th penalty. So it's Trickle Threat that has the star, number 88 for Belgium. He also has lead jammer status. Kicker Skritzen right at his heels. I'm just wondering how many times have we seen that in this game, that one jammer will get through and then the other one will be right with them. And we get to see some jammer action before the other one calls it off. right as it happened now.
And that time, Triple Threat, realising that the Swedish pack had taken position, they were in front, call it off to prevent Sweden picking up any points.
Oh, now we have Sweet Jackie on the jammer line, which could be very interesting. He might be very tiny and very slim, but he's pretty agile and fast moving.
He's up against Geronimus for Team Belgium.
And there he runs over the outside line, taking lead jammer for Team Sweden.
But once again, the opposition jammer right behind him, Geronimus for Team Belgium. For those of you that have just joined us, Belgium are wearing black, Sweden are in the blue.
Belgium trying to pick up some speed in the pack. Sweet Jackie being pushed through the infield, taking up 2 points.
2 points for Sweet Jackie, 1 for Geronimus. And there's a little bit of a quick discussion going on by the referees.
Next up, Kigerskrutzen, 61.
At the minute, it's Wimplash for the first time, 101, but we do have an official timeout. I'm just wondering whether they were questioning potentially whether it was illegal engagement after the whistle. One of the Swedish blockers, I didn't see who it was, carried on trying to put the block on Geronimus. Whether he hadn't heard the whistle or not, I don't know.
Was that the action going to the infield or to the outside?
It was to the outside. It was just
outside.
on the outside of the, as you're looking at the feed now, going into turn 1.
I was looking at action happening on the inside line, so I didn't really see that. But I'm pretty sure we'll get information on that in a moment. The referee talking to the penalty box staff.
So we're just waiting to see what's happened. As soon as we've got an update, we will let you know.
And we have beautiful unicorn leggings showing up on the feed right now.
It's also, don't forget, if you are enjoying this, tweet us hashtag MRDWC. That's the hashtag MRDWC. Wimplash waving to the crowd.
And don't forget, if you're enjoying the feed, we wouldn't mind if you make a small contribution to the organization, to us hosting the feed for you on the stream side. You can find a donate button. All donations will go 50-50 to the organization of the Men's Roller Derby World Cup and the team's travel funds.
So we have Wimplash and Kick-Ass Knudsen. They were just checking to see if there were any extra points for the blocker in the box. There weren't.
And Kigerskrutzen is lead jammer. Wimplash still in the pack.
So this is Wimplash with the star on for the first time that I've seen in this bout. He does make it through now. As Neil's on wheels, as the pivot makes his way into the box. Under instructions from the Swedish bench, jam is called, so they will start with a 4-on-2 pack advantage.
I would say right now, when I'm looking at the last couple of lineups for the Swedish, that the Swedish lineup management is now trying to put the bigger guys as exploit up as blockers, and Yada Yada and Sweet Jackie, for example, Kigerskrutzen more as jammers, to have people like Mick Yeager and All Nerdy. Now that All Nerdy has to be a bit careful about his penalties, have the stronger blockers on track.
In the meantime, for Belgium, number 88, Triple Threat, he is your lead jammer.
And Yada Yada out of the pack, made his initial pass. Triple Threat taken to the ground, and there we have an out of play block and a call off.
Yeah, Badger Badger.
Badger Badger with his awesome beard sent to the box.
Sorry, I'm being too entertained by the Belgian fans here. Sorry. 4:04, Geronimus has the star this time for Belgium.
And Sweet Jackie is your lead jammer for this jam.
Sweet Jackie gets through. So yeah, this is a shout out to at Hot Water Wolf. Apparently he's got an assignment to do. Word count currently at 258 out of 3,000, and MRDWC clearly winning over that. That's what we like to hear.
That's a problem that I know very well. Daily's always more interesting than your homework.
And this one's about to get more interesting as we have a power jam. Geronimus is in the box. So Sweet Jackie, having the power jam. Although that could be the end of the power jam, he's picked up a back block major. So we're going to get a jammer change out from the quad skate shot penalty box. As Badger and the beautiful beard return to the track. And here we go, it is Geronimus, he returns to the track. So power jam for a little while here for Team Belgium. Very fast pack. Until bodies hit the floor left, right and centre. Destruction of the pack called on Niels and Wheels. For that one, it was he was the maintaining the pack and suddenly stopped, which destroyed the pack, which is why he got the destruction call.
Sweet Jackie back on track.
In the meantime, 5 points have been signalled by Geronimus. And another 5 points as he's gone around all the way. So just an update from the other track. Score getting a lot closer. Finland 97, Ireland 84.
It looks a lot different than in the beginning. Next up on the lineup, we have Kickers Kurtzen again for Team Sweden on Bulldog, number 3 MT for Team Belgium.
It looks like, from what I can see, there are 2 Belgian skaters sat in the box. Looks like Rocky Ball Bearing and Niels and Wheels, but they do currently have 3 blockers on the track. So one of them is going to be told to leave the track fairly quickly. As it's Japutra who takes himself away from the track, returns to the bench. Kickhouse Kurtzen making the most of the pack advantage as they try and close in on Belgium's score. But blockers going down left, right and centre.
And Bulldog taken to the outside by the Swedish blockers. Bulldog being called off track for a cutting penalty.
So we have a power jam, currently 54 points in it in Belgium's favour, 16 and a half minutes to go. Kickhouse Kurtzen on the power jam, 2 blockers to deal with.
Yada recycling the returning jammer, and a cutting penalty on Kickers Kurtzen as well.
And that looked like there was a forearms call.
Was it forearms?
Yep, forearms is what's being signalled.
I
think it was for, not necessarily for the impact, but the fact that it was in constant contact for 3 seconds.
And there we have Bulldog returning to the track.
So here he goes. There was double one. Johnson was trying to get in and some offense to free him. Okay, someone's going. It's not Bulldog though.
That is...
Is that Mr. Nice Guy?
That is number 333, Mr. Nice Guy.
Mr. Nice Guy takes face plant as he goes into the penalty box.
Kickers Kurtzen already up on his feet again, returning to the track now.
So because both jammers have been to the box, this will go for the full 2 minutes. And Murdoch recycled there. Megawatt this time blocking. And a track cut has been called on Kickhouse Kurtzen, another one. So he will go back to the box. And we have a team timeout signalled by Team Sweden. I'm wondering if this is a team timeout. This may turn into official review because Kickhouse Kurtzen, as he came past us, as he went past the Swedish bench, was not happy with that call.
So we're waiting for the results from that official timeout. There is, I see a hand from a referee, I think it's Watse, indicating 3 points for Team Sweden.
3 points picked up for Kickass Goodson on that last jam. I'll just give you an idea, just let you know what's coming up. After this bout on this track, we will have the bout between, I think it's Argentina versus Wales. Sorry, no, my apologies. Australia versus Wales. My apologies. That will be following us on this track. And don't forget, we have the final is now at 5 p.m. and that will see Team England versus Team USA.
Okay.
Update on the score.
Score update from the other track. Finland 107 points, on I-line 88 points.
So 19-point game.
Which is a half-time at the moment.
Pretty much half-time in that bout. So when we get the update, we will let you know.
Okay, I got another update which says half-time on the quad skate shop track is Finland 130 to Ireland 88 points. But now let's return to Roller Derby City track with your lead jammer 88 Trick R.
Fred, I'm going to get it right. I will get it right for the rest of the day. So he puts up 5 in the sky, extending Belgium's lead right now. No pack called, meant he has to get through, he has. The Swedish blockers have to let him through. Old Nerdy's out there. And he's there with, is it Block Watson? It is?
It's Block Watson, 221B.
I nearly said the other name.
And 5 more points for Trickle's Head. Jam is standing in a box, and the jam is being ended. So we have both Kickass Kritzen and the jammer, the blocker that was sent to the box, standing up again.
Yeah, so this track and this jam is brought to you by Roller Derby City, Europe's largest supplier of roller derby kit and merch. 5-second warning. The mass is quite easy at the minute. 70-point lead for Team Belgium.
And Niels on wheels over the outside.
But he's on his way to the penalty box. He has picked up a back block. So Kickass Kritzen is out of the box. There's a high block penalty been signalled on somebody, but it's not Kickass Kritzen. He is lead jammer for Team Sweden. As
much as 1101 BAB Reckless was just discussing with the ref, I guess that's his high block penalty. And Kickass Kritzen on his first scoring pass of this jam.
Great offence there by Badger, almost as offensive as the beard.
I don't think that beard is offensive.
No, it's not. It is a thing of beauty.
It's awesome.
But it was too good a line not to use. In the meantime, back to serious matters. Another 5 points picked up by Kickass Kritzen. I'm sorry, those of you that have to put up with me. No, I'm not at all.
Don't apologize to me, apologize to the people. Okay, and we have 5 more points for Kickass Kritzen. He's calling it off. Jammer standing, Niels on wheels, standing in a box.
So we're having a look now. So it's 404 Exploit who's jamming right now. We've had a tweet come in.
Purely Nicole says Exploit with number 404 from Team Sweden is another awesome name.
It is indeed, actually. So he's starting on the power jam, and you're seeing Old Nerdy and the name that I can't pronounce, Bridge Back, Triple Threat. Sorry, not Triple Threat. It is Niels on Wheels.
That's Niels on Wheels, 10-10.
Kickass Kritzen is currently just sat with us in front of the paramedics, just getting checked on something. Hopefully nothing too serious. In the meantime, 5 in the sky picked up by Exploit. So there's a no pack called, a direction of play penalty called, and it's Old Nerdy.
Which is quite unfortunate because that would be his 6th penalty. Did he get another penalty
I don't
in
think
the
he's had
second
one
half
this
yet?
period.
Then it should be his 6th penalty by now.
Another 3 points picked up at the end of that jam by Exploit. So, trick or threat with the star, number 88 for Team Belgium. Belgium, if you've just joined us, are wearing the black.
And Sweet Jackie 5-3 for Team Sweden.
So just had a quick crowd shot of some Hulls Angels roller dames. So she's getting a lot of love at the minute. One of their girls is acting as translator for Team Argentina. But in the meantime, back to this game here. Trick or threat, lead Gemma. Once again being chased down. So Sweet Jackie.
Trick or threat calls the jam. Taking 3 points, no points for Sweet Jackie.
Three for trick or threat, nothing for Sweet Jackie on that one.
Kigerskritsen has left the medics as it looks, and again I would like to point out the awesome services that GB EMS are providing this weekend. The only UKRD endorsed medical team in the UK.
So in the meantime, Yada Yada just did he? Yep, he kept his feet in round the outside. He did pick up lead Jammer. Being followed closely by 404 Geronimo. As Helvis, I believe that is, making his way to the box.
Yep, it's the awesome ponytail. And speaking of awesome, Badger entering the track again as blocker for Exploit. This time supported by Megawatt. 2 Swedish blockers seated in the box.
And Niels on Wheels, who will have help from Jeb Putra. Murdoch, I can't see who else is there. Bulldog, I think, by the look of it. And I believe the other one was Johnson.
And we have
the inside.
Other official timeout being called.
So, referee, I believe that's Watsa, is speaking to one of our NSOs, BB Lady from the Barnsley Blackheart Rollers, a team very local to where I am. We just want to give actually a lot of credit to all the NSOs and all the volunteers, all the crew that have helped made this event possible, giving up their time and not, running things, working the event, not being able to watch it. I mean, at least if we're allegedly working, I think that's what they call it, what we do. We at least get to watch the bouts at the same time, but a lot of these guys don't.
That's right.
We do have a power jam. Yada Yada has been sent to the box. I did wonder, because it was on the start of turn 1, it did look like a cut track was called by one of the outside pack referees that wasn't picked up. Because that jam did end quite quickly. I wondered if that's what it was. So Niels on Wheels, lead jammer for Team Belgium. Old Nerdy rejoins the track. Old Nerdy has got to be very careful. One more trip to the quad skate shot penalty box and he's done for the day, and as it happens now for the tournament, as this is Sweden's, or both of these teams' last bout. Niels and Mills forced to recycle there by Old Nerdy and Badger. Badger goes back to make the bridge. Megawatt, I think, knew he was going to get called for a direction of gameplay on that one.
And there we have a scoring pass, 5 points. Niels on Wheels is touching his hips. The referee takes some time before calling it off.
Yeah, referee was just checking with the score tracker that the points had been picked up and didn't see the call off.
And there we have Enjoy Boy. Now, Mr. Nice Guy, number 333, on the jammer line.
And he's up against Trick or Threat. 55 points in it, 7.5 minutes to go. So here we go, both jammers off. tough lead up. There we go. Once more into the breach. It's trickle threat. He has lead jammer for Team Belgium.
Mr. Nice Guy still in the pack, still in his initial pass. And trickle threat makes a huge step, taking 5 points.
Oh, Mr. Nice Guy taking out big hits to the outside. Forced to recycle all the way back by Phantom. And didn't go back far enough. Phantom drew the track cut. And Mr. Revenge is on his way for what I believe was a multiplayer block for Team Belgium. This cut track now for Trick or Threat. Blasts his way through Enjoy Boy and the name that I can't say.
About Jurid.
Thank you. Thank you, Valkyria.
Phantom supporting his jammer Trick or Threat and successfully, as it seems. Megawatt just returns back on track.
Trickle Threat now trying to find his way through. There's a no pack called, and Rajarat managed to recycle his way back to the front. It's an 80-point lead now for Team Belgium. So this could be enough. You would have thought potentially this could be the nail in the coffin. Jam is standing. Mr. Nice Guy is standing. And Jam is called off, leaving Mr. Nice Guy on ice.
Just got the information that Phantom has a 2-minute penalty because he also picked up 4 arms.
Phantom's only just made his way to the box. He's just sat down. I wonder if it's 2 minutes that he's got there.
Yep.
Or is it the one who's already in there, who I believe is Mr. Revenge, number 1?
Correctly. That's right. It's Mr. Revenge and not Phantom. And Team Sweden has called a team timeout. Reorganizing for a moment.
Yes, we can all take a bit of a breath. I think we've seen sort of quite a pattern with this game. Sort of mentioned you're seeing quite often one jammer get through, the other jammer not far behind them. I think what's made the difference has been the penalties, especially the power jams. Belgium have been a little cleaner, been able to keep their skaters on track, especially keeping their jammers on the track. I think that's made the big difference.
The jammers mainly, that's right. They had mainly, at least in the first half, the penalties were mainly issued on blockers.
Yeah, they didn't give away many power jams at all. In fact, at half-time, there was only one player from Team Belgium, that was Wimplash, who'd picked up more than one penalty.
Yeah. And half of them were clean completely without any penalty.
Yeah. Yeah, including, as we've seen, we've seen BA Directors have a jam, Niels on Wheels has jammed quite a lot, and of course Trickle Threat has jammed quite a lot, and at half-time they were all clean on penalties.
Well, in comparison, there were only 4 players on the Swedish team that were penalty-free in the first half.
So Wimplash has the style this time.
And we have Mr. Nice Guy as lead jammer for this jam.
Yeah, came out of the box and picked that up. That's brilliant.
King Clumsy writes on Twitter, "Come on Sweden, hashtag Team Sparkly Beard."
King Clumsy, I wonder if we're related.
Why are you clumsy?
I'm King Crazy, so... We have a track cut who it's not on the jammer. It is on Geronimus, who has jammed but hasn't got the style on this time, luckily for Team Belgium. Big hit. Old Nerdy puts down Wimplash.
Mr. Nice Guy calls off the jam.
The elbows major has been called on Old Nerdy. I think that might be...
That would be it for Old Nerdy.
I think he knows it's 7. He's trying to signal people's attention. We think that's his 7th. Official timeout signalled. Yeah, this has been... It's actually Old Nerdy that was signalling to the referees and the NSOs. He knows it's his 7th. But because it was probably one of those, it was called just at the end of the jam. rather than during a jam. It probably hadn't been picked up by loads in the middle.
Oh, he already started to untie his skates in the box. And I think it is Badger as his substitute in the penalty box.
So that's swapping one of Team Sparkly Beard for another one.
And now we have Exploit for Team Sweden.
Trickle threat for Team Belgium.
Exploit only up against one Belgian blocker.
Yeah, as
Second
Mr.
one.
Revenge is standing. There's 2 set down.
And both jammers come out of the park nearly simultaneously. Lead for Exploit. Some jammer action. Mr. Revenge back on track. And number 3, Enjoy Boy back on track too. Exploit calls it off with
Picks up 2 points.
2 points and no points for Belgium. Kickers Krutsen jamming up next for Team Sweden.
And it's Niels on Wheels that has the star for Team Belgium. As we see one of the Wizards of Oz on the feed at the minute.
3 minutes left on the clock for this bout.
And Kick-Ass Krutsen picks up lead jammer once more for Team Sweden.
Wheels on Wheels up against Megawatt in the front.
And I say just manages now to complete his pass. Kick-Ass Krutsen has lead and calls it off under instruction from his bench. Just in time, 4-0 on that pass. On that jam, should I say.
Yada Yada on the way to the bench.
Oh, to the box, I'm not sure what he's done.
That's what I wanted to say, on the way to the box, of course.
Oh, look who it is jamming for Team Sweden.
Gerard Juret, number 1 jamming for Sweden with support from
Exploit.
Exploit and Helvis.
BAB Reckless, 1101 for Team Belgium. He has the star. He has support from Mr. Revenge, and I can't see from here who his pivot is. It might be Geronimo, apologies if it's not. Whoever it is, he's just taken a big hit. A little slow to get up, but he does so, thankfully. All right, we've got penalties going on here.
I hear whistle after whistle.
There is a track cut being signalled. It's a power jam.
And the fans of Team Belgium going wild over here on the bleachers.
So Geronimus has just rejoined the track. It was Wimplash who took the big hit earlier. And what we've got going on here, there's another whistle. It is number 64, Badger. He makes his way now to the penalty box. And Yada Yada makes his way out of the penalty box. Niels on Wheels looks like he's in, sorry, BAB Reckless, my apologies. Looks like he's in a little bit of pain. Exploit trying to make it worse. Not quite getting the track cut.
And now we have less than a minute left on the clock. Niels on Wheels still fighting in the front, taking another 5 points.
And he calls the jam off. We will have time for at least one more. So taking the star for what will probably be the last time is Trick or Threat.
Lord Juret standing in the penalty box. Badger making himself comfortable apparently.
So just to remind you that the Platinum Cup finals are now 2 hours earlier than originally planned, and that the bowl final is now on the Queen's Quad Skate Shop. I will get it sorted in a minute. It's been a long weekend. That's my excuse, I'm sticking to it.
On the Quad Skate Shop track at the moment, Finland on Ireland. Finland 147 points and 92 points for Ireland. And we have
Triple Threat does have lead Gemma. The clock has expired. It's just up to him now how long he wants to keep going for. Belgium know that they've got, oh, lovely move, ducking down past Megawatt. Belgium know they've got this. They've got the win. This is just basically an extended lap of honour for Triple Threat. And well deserved, actually. He's been one of the really impressive skaters this game. He's also been, I think he's been completely clean as well. He certainly was at half time.
which one?
Triple Threat.
Triple Threat.
He was at half time, he was clean. I think he's been clean all the way through. Speaking of it, then again, I think that's the curse.
And we have last minute a track cut penalty being called on Rod Jurid.
So Triple Threat still on there. Badger out there trying to make life difficult along with Block Watson. And I believe that's Enjoy Boy.
The Belgian fans already standing up. Trick of Red apparently getting a bit tired. Taking a last run on the Swedish wall.
So yeah, Team Belgium know that they will be going back with the jug.
That was a track cut penalty for Trick of Red being issued in the last moment of this game. And there is the final whistle of this bout.
Now, what a fantastic bout it was. It was seeing how much over the course of the weekend, especially both teams, Sweden and Belgium, from the games that they've played, watching the other teams here, seeing how much they've learnt, how much they've picked up and how much they've improved. And hopefully now, when they go back home to their respective leagues, this will see men's roller derby in Belgium and Sweden, and obviously all around the world, we hope, just continue to grow. So when we do this next time, you have even more people here.
There will be more people here, definitely.
I was going to say, I mean, a huge credit has to go to the organisers for putting this event on. I think it's been absolutely fantastic. We've had thousands of fans, hundreds of thousands of people have watched over the course of the weekend on the online feed. Thank you very much for doing that. If you have enjoyed it, don't forget there is a link on the MRDWC website that you can donate a few pounds, a few dollars, a few euros, a few yen, whatever your currency of choice is. That will be split between the MRDWC for the cost of the tournament and the teams for their travel costs.
Well, I say thank you, King Crazy.
It's been absolutely my pleasure.
And we leave you with the teams going for the goodbye rounds. And
so see what has become a tradition at this tournament now has become for the London Bridge rather than the high fives due to the amount of fans. Sweden first and then Belgium. Belgium will of course pick up a trophy later this afternoon. For those of you that have been watching all weekend, on behalf of Valkyria and every other announcer, I am King Crazy. Absolutely fantastic. Back to the studio.
Welcome back to the Men's Roller Derby World Cup 2014, where if you've just been watching the action on the Roller Derby City track, you've just seen our first named trophy being decided. Team Belgium take the jug on that game. A brilliant performance from them. We've seen them improve over the weekend even as they've come up. And so congratulations, Team Belgium. You've got yourselves the jug. You are locked down in Men's Roller Derby World Cup history right there. But we've still got some exciting bouts coming up on both the tracks. So Andy, can you tell us a bit about what's going on over there in the Quad Skate Shop track right now, and then what we can expect on Roller Derby City track?
Yeah, sure. So on the Quad Skate Shop track, we've got the bowl final taking place at the moment, which is between Ireland and Finland. A really physical battle going on there at the moment. Finland edging it. They've had a good day yesterday. They've had a very good day today. So they look like they're going to end the tournament on a high. Next match on the Roller Derby City track is going to be the plate final. That's to determine the 5th place team, and that's going to be Wales against Australia, who had some great bouts earlier on today. So they're going to be playing on that particular lineup. That's going to be at 3 o'clock GMT, and then we're going to have the 3rd place playoff and the final, which, as we said before, is going to take place at 5 o'clock, and that's going to be between Team England and the USA.
And that one's I think that's going to rip the roof right off this place. A lot of very vocal Team USA supporters here, and I know there are out there, and an awful lot obviously supporting the home team, Team England, here in Birmingham today. Do stick with us here on live.mrdwc.com. You can also get all of our blog updates on mrdwc.com. And you can go to our Twitter feeds, and you can go to our Facebook page, and keep posting your images on Instagram. We love to see them, and we'll be putting them up on this feed right here if you're very, very lucky. So stick with us. Thank you very much.